Hello everybody, welcome! My name is Ursa Ryan, and we are here today to continue the Purgatory, the divine reckoning that will decide once and for all whether or not I can consider myself to be a good single-player Civ 6 person. How good really am I? Does my improv skill, where I can pick up games randomly and adapt my tactics on the fly, does that hold up against the AI's hardest difficulties? Oh dear audience watching this video, welcome to Mode 13, difficulty Sid Meier. Welcome again to Deity++, the horrific and wonderful mod created by none other than channel favorite Fuzzle. This is a mod that makes the game harder. Deity difficulty, level 8. This was the previous hardest difficulty in the game. On that mode, the Deity AI got bonuses equal to 3 settlers, 5 warriors, 2 builders, 40% science, culture and faith boost, 100% production and gold. If you ever thought that the AI was cheating to build things faster than you, it was. +4 combat strength and bunch of unit XP, and your Barb camp gold had been nerfed. For a long time on this channel I was playing on Deity++ level 10, which has been renamed as Transcendent. But now we go harder than that. We go to Infernal, Primordial, and finally Sid Meier. Level 13. At this level the AI gets 5 settlers, 10 warriors, 5 builders, 80% science, culture and faith boost, and 200% production in gold. +9 combat strength and 100 spare unit XP, as well as decimating my Barb camp gold to 5. Well, this means that on difficulty alone, this is one of the hardest modes ever created by the modding community. To beat this mode, we have to be playing as well as we can. There is no room for general bad play or not committing to any particular strategy. You have to go in, you have to use the game in all of its different quirks and tactics and everything you can hold against the AI. Only then could you possibly come out on top. Now, just a quick warning, there are a couple of spoilers about to come out of my mouth. If you haven't seen the recent level 13 game with Australia I played, you've been warned. Pause the video now, skip ahead a few seconds. The first time we tried this mode, we won. But there were a lot of caveats. Curtin, Australia, very forgiving Civ to play when the AI is against you. And I also had a start that was a little bit, well, how do I put this? We had a lot of space. We had nobody looming over us with 10 warriors. Today, we may not be so lucky. This is a 10-player huge map. These are the details, although you don't need these because you're on Discord already, where I keep all of my mods and all of my save files for you to use, but it's a continents and islands map with these details. Level 13, as we have said, standard speed, Barb Clans mode on, and we are playing with Philippe of Spain. The big unknown is whether or not we are going to have space. Is an AI going to spawn on top of us with 5 cities and 10 warriors? Are we going to be able to survive? Only time will tell. So get yourself comfortable. Pour yourself a lovely long drink. Those of you planning on sleeping when watching this episode, make sure you're nice and comfy. And to those of you wonderful early bears that watch this, make sure you go down to the first few comments, people who got in here nice and early, shouting huzzah or early bears, and shout huzzah and early bears at them back. It always makes me smile. Let's get cracking. Turn 1, and this is a bit of a random start. There are some things that I like about it. First of all, we have fresh water. We have access to the sea. We have at least 1 reef and some rainforest. We have at least 2 luxury resources and access to a mountain. We also have a plains hill. Actually, we have 2 of them. So either here or there would be good coastal freshwater settling sites. The bad is that the start is otherwise a little bit meh. We have no immediate tile giving me more than 5 yield on food and production. This cotton is giving me 5 yield, but 3 of it is gold. It's not entirely helpful. We also, at the moment, don't have a continent split. We're on the continent of Pangaea, and we do want to find that continent split as soon as we can. Spain is really good at trade routes, especially when they cross continent lines, because then they get 9 gold, 6 faith, and 3 production, as opposed to the 3, 2, 1 that you get just on all base trade routes. It's also really good if I settle on other continents, because those give me plus 25% production towards districts and a 3 builder. It also means that I can build better missions later in the game. So all in all, it's a little bit meh. I think the biggest question for me is going to be whether or not it makes sense to move across the river here. Now, in the argument for staying put, it's a turn 1 settle. I have access to a nice 2-2. I've also got pretty decent access to some wheat, 2 luxuries in range of the city. Why move? Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to find any more information out from my warrior today. In defense of moving across the river, it gets me closer to this reef and the fish, which is actually a really good resource to be working. 3 food, 1 production. It also means that then I have an extra 2-2 tile to work because I won't get rid of the rainforest by settling on it. It is a bit of a gamble, and I have no information really that pushes me across the river. So I'm just going to settle this side of the river for now and hope that that was the correct choice. We'll find out sooner rather than later, I'm sure. Now, dear audience, you know that I like to celebrate the channel supporters, those lovely people that support me on Coffee and Patreon and really help to keep this channel ticking, and I like to name my cities after them. So, in charge of the capital today, welcome to the wonderful Jammin. At the moment, this capital that I put you in charge of, I'm not entirely sure about how the capital is going to run. I tend to have two different styles of capital, either a high population, high food Pingala capital that runs off connoisseur and researcher to give me a early game tech boost and to push me through the civics tree to tier 1 government, or I go down the Magnus route using provision and surplus logistics to work as many productive tiles as possible to settler spam. Now, there are arguments for both in this particular case. There is a lot of shopping available, we have a decent amount of hills around, we have a decent amount of lumber mills around, so Magnus may work nicely here. Equally, there's a lot of food shops and access to the sea, which means that Pingala might be good. I don't need to decide right now, let's just print the scout and go from there. But both are good. Spain really thrives on settling wide for two reasons. Firstly, you want to get onto other continents to trigger these bonuses, the 3 builders, the extra district production, but equally you want a trade route in every city, and the more cities you have, well, the better your empire is. 9 gold, 6 faith, and 3 production times by lots of cities is much better than times by not many. Saying that, this is of course single player, it is not multiplayer, and it's actually like a little point I want to address here because I've seen this in the comments quite recently. There is a really cool and really lovely interest that people are showing at the moment in Civ 6 multiplayer, especially with things like the better balanced game mod, and that's awesome to see. The Civ multiplayer leagues are incredibly capable and very talented people. Genuinely speaking, some of the people that play in those multiplayer games are up there with the most talented Civ 6 players in the world, I have no doubt. I've seen a lot of comments recently pushing me towards the fact that it in multiplayer tends to be better to avoid districts like campuses and theatre squares early game, so avoiding science and culture, focusing instead on going towards harbours, commercial hubs, and of course industrial zones, working on the economy of your civilization before you start working on the tech and civics. The idea being that you sprawl over and get like 9 or 10 cities going with a huge industry, lots of gold per turn, lots of production per turn, and then you switch on to maybe the 2nd or 3rd district is your campuses or your theatre squares or your holy sites, whatever you want to do. And generally speaking, that is an amazing tactic and can work on Deity really well. The problem is, this is single player. This is Deity plus. This is level 15. I was going to say, no, don't give puzzle ideas. This is level 13, Sid Meier difficulty. It is perfectly possible to play for an economic start. In my Australia game recently, I had all the space in the world. I could have done that. But the difference between single player and multiplayer is who you're against. In multiplayer, inherently, it is a fair game. It's incredibly balanced. Everybody is on the same footing. Sure, different civs with different abilities and everyone gets a slightly different start. You can never have it inherently 100% balanced. But the crux of the matter is it's your skill against someone else's skill. You've all got the same tool sets, all the same districts, all the same abilities, productions, golds, all that stuff. It means that you are using your brain and you have time to create the best empire, and it really does help for you to go wide early on, get lots of gold, get lots of trade routes, and then work on an economy that then snowballs later into the game. On single player, we are not playing fair. I am not playing against talented ninjas. You know, think of multiplayer people as really, really talented knights or samurai or archers, people who have trained in the craft for years and it's a test of skill. This is not that. I am trying to fight an incredibly stupid giant. It's the best way I can put it. The AI does not play as well as humans. It never will, it never can. Civ is too complicated a game, but we've just seen it. Look at these numbers. 4 bonus cities, 80% science, culture, and faith boost, and 200% production. It is a stupid giant, but it is a giant. And if I allow myself to just run up against the AI, and I go for the economic start, and I focus just on production and gold, and go for my science later, what will happen is that I'll either get swarmed by 10 warriors, or I'll get swarmed even better by 10 men-at-arms and crossbows and trebuchets whilst I'm still faffing around, trying desperately to unlock archers into walls because I didn't focus on my science. You don't have the luxury of time. It is important to just tech as quickly as you can to get a little bit of a foundation. As soon as you have unlocked things like walls, archers, and then going later later into the game into crossbows and man-at-arms, then it doesn't really matter if the AI is throwing muskets and line infantry and frigates at you. At least you have some defenses. You cannot start slowly in single player, especially not with the difficulty level of 13. That's why we tend to run a little bit of a balance. It's still, of course, really good to have as high an economy as you can. Commercial hubs, harbors, all this sort of thing, really important you go for them. And I'll never say that it's not. You want as many trade routes as you can. You know, an empire with 15 to 20 trade routes and 30 cities is, of course, wonderful. But we cannot ignore science. You have to at least get into the medieval era as soon as you can, just as a survival tactic. So just remember that when we talk about the fact that the Pingala start and the Magnus start, of course, Magnus is always the good multiplayer start. It's a fair fight. This is not a fair fight. Speaking of, we have to decide how we are going to start this. We could go for animal husbandry to hope that horses spawn, but actually looking at this start, there's very few places the horses could spawn. They don't spawn on floodplains, they only spawn on flat tiles, so maybe we have a horse here? Bit of a gamble though. I could rush either commercial hubs or the harbour to get our trade routes going as quickly as possible. I'm personally not a huge fan of running too many trade routes before you get into the sort of medieval era, just because 3 gold per turn trade routes are really rubbish, or like 2 food, 2 production routes. They're just not very good. It's not worth the production until they start leveling up later into the game. But Spain is one of those examples, just like Tokugawa, just like Poundmaker, Persia to an extent. There are lots of civs that either gain extra trade routes or gain more yields, and this treasure fleet ability makes trade routes really, really important that you get these unlocked as quickly as you can. So I'm tempted to run towards harbours as soon as I can and try and get into the ocean. We actually saw with the Norway game recently that getting a few galleys unlocked nice and early helps to increase my garrison strength, which is really good, and helps me to try and get towards a golden age. We've also seen that on this level of difficulty, getting a religion is almost impossible. The AI has too much production. It'll get astrology way before us, and generally speaking, even though we have a 10-player game, which I think has 6 religions, the chances are they may all go by turn 60. Do I try and go for my own? I think I'm going to try maybe and go for it, but the thing is, Spain doesn't actually need a religion. Sure, Inquisitors, if you don't have a religion, this obviously doesn't give you anything. But the combat and religious units bonus of +5, that could work against anybody that is following a different religion to you. So it is tempting just to pick up another religion. Let somebody go for work ethic or feed the world or whatever it is, and then just piggyback off their religion. Pretty simple. Yeah, it's actually very difficult to work out what the best start for me is. I think I'm going to go astrology into sailing into celestial navigation to try and unlock the harbour as soon as I can. I do have a lot of sea resources out here. It kind of all links to me in the same place. There is at least one reef here that will give us a +2 campus, so that's looking pretty decent. If I was to pop a harbour down on this tile, maybe Government Plaza there, that sets up a really cool aqueduct into industrial zone, possibility for later into the game. There's the +4 science for the rationalism boost later. We'll see how it goes. I don't like putting too many pins down at the beginning of the game because the AI sees them and it tends to go crazy. Wow, turn 3 and the Barbs have already found us. I think it's going to be one of these games. So there is some honey below me. I'm going to pull my warrior around now to try and at least hold off the barbarians. Let's see which way he runs away. Back in that direction. He can't have come far because it was only turn 3. So I think the danger is going to be roughly over there. So we'll see if we can go find something. I love that. Absolutely love it. We're going to keep an eye as well on the settler lens and see if we can detect some city-states nice and early. Also going to keep an eye on the continent split. We want to settle on a different continent as soon as we can, or at least find somebody on a different continent. Trading with city-states is really effective as well. Which way do I want my scout to go? We're going to be moving along the coast pretty effectively with galleys when we unlock them. I do want another settler, but I'm not going to go for 2 scouts here. I don't want to go for 2 scouts because I don't want to trip into the AI if they choose to throw a load of stuff at me. So we're actually going to go slinger on the second one. I'm going to send the scout over in that direction. Let's try and pin where these barbarians are as fast as possible. All right, I overestimated a little bit. They are here. 95 gold to hire a warrior unit from the clan. I guess that's actually pretty decent. Land goes up here. There is another reef. Good to know. Good for science. Oh, wow. This is more than 2 reefs. Well, sorry, I should say it is 2 reefs. It's more than 1 reef. Look at this. That's already a nice +4 campus. I'm going to keep an eye out for any +4 campuses. The reason my +4 is so much more interesting than +3 is later in the game, you pick up Enlightenment and Rationalism, and that gives you 50% extra on libraries, universities, and research labs if the actual district below it has a +4 adjacency bonus. Now, hopefully, I can bait them into attacking me. It's unlikely to happen. Unfortunately, that means they're in a wood and they're fortified as well. But we'll get 1 attack in, and then we'll heal, and then we'll pull our slinger in and try and deal with the barbs as soon as we can. Oh, hello. Hello. Some actual science around here. Thank you so much. Oh. Oh, all right. It looks like someone is actually there. This could be a city-state. Should kind of bring my scout back quickly to come and find this. Oh, there's another warrior. Right. I think the scout's going to get a little bit of a love tap here. Oh, and there's another warrior that's just appeared, and suddenly they feel like they can win this battle. I'm tempted to agree with them here. Okay, Mr. Scout, you need to just run into the hills. You cannot survive that. I don't think you can tank 2 hits. I'm going to pull back on this tile, and then hopefully just for 1 warrior chases me. Okay, there is my slinger. I can tank 1 hit, especially if I fortify here in the wood. Run this scout away. Just lead this warrior away as quickly as we can. And 95 gold, I think I will hire another warrior as fast as I can. Let's get a settler going. Astrology, 7 turns. There's still a chance that we might boost this. I'm going to switch now into sailing. You can just have a look on turn 12. No one's going for profits just yet. Right, how much? Okay, already there are a lot of barbarians. Big flood with huge yields. Oh, and it just hit my slinger. Ah, that's not good. Quiet fox, quiet fox, quiet fox. Yeah, this is not good. This is not good at all. This is a lot of enemy troops, and they've just got reinforcements. I'm going to have to retreat across the river, use that to defend. I'm also going to have to pull back to defensive territory, regather my strength, and come back later. In fact, actually, I can't even get this settler out. I've got to probably work on getting a second slinger, which is painful because it slows down my start a lot. We cannot let barbarians thwart us here. That would be absolutely awful. Okay, they are just waiting there. Fine. I'm going to pull back across the river. I'm going to fortify. This should give me a lot of defensive terrain. Yeah, look, if he attacks me here, he's got to attack over a river into a rainforest, and I'm fortified. You can just try it. There is my 95 gold to get another warrior. It is painful to have to use this much resource this early on to fight barbarians, but at least we'll have a little bit of a starting army to use should the AI actually try and attack me. Speaking of the AI attacking me, it looks like we have Byzantium on our door. Now, this is a bit of a problem. If we want to go for our own religion, Byzantium is a nightmare neighbor because they can spread their religion so easily just by killing things. Maybe it's a good idea here to actually join in with Byzantium's religion. They tend to get a really early one. Where is their city? Constantinople is right there. That is so close. So close. Oh, this could be a little bit of a problem. Is it at least on a different continent? No, it is not. Fine. Fine. Continue fortifying. Give yourself battle cry. At least this warrior now has a little bit more strength. I can also put in God King and Discipline for some extra strength against Barbs. Double Slinger appearing. That's no fun. But Slinger Kill is fun. Wait for those slingers to approach me, and then we will counter with an attack in a second. So I'll not mistrade it as soon as we can, as quickly as we can. You see, minus 11 from Byzantium. Byzantium does not like me right now, which is understandable. I am a thoroughly dislikable person. Just going to pull the slinger into attacking me a little bit more and take advantage of that, but I've got a 25 strength warrior there that's safe from retribution attack. My scout also is going to have a lot of defense on that tile, so I might just hold there for a second and see if I can hold off this warrior. I took 23 damage and healed 10, and I've got 41 still. Yeah, we're actually fine. We can actually just tank through those hits a little bit there. This slinger has volley now. This slinger can cross over, and this warrior can go to there. Okay, right, that's looking a little bit better now. Now I think I can go for a settler. I feel a little more secure now. Until Byzantium sends all their warriors over, then we've got a problem. Right, they're all just going to start charging my city. I guess that's fine. It's not ideal. It's not ideal, but it'll have to do. Bam, bronze working boosted already on turn 19. That, you know, you've had a fun barbarian start when that happens. This brave warrior is going to bait a couple of attacks there if I fortify, so we'll hold position for a second, give you a couple of turns of healing, and we're going to just go and push over here. That is another AI. Oh my lord, we have no space here. I thought that was a city-state. Nope, we have been forward settled quite considerably. Okay, we're going to have a really interesting choice as to where we decide to settle. Loyalty will be a problem. If we hit a dark age, we want to get the honey and the dyes, ideally. This isn't a continent split, which is not what we need. I don't want them escaping around here as well. I mean, the thing is, if I was to settle on this tile, that would mean that I could, in theory, make a bit of an aqueduct play and go for industrial zones here and there. There are dam possibilities on this little setup as well. Something that looks a tiny bit like that. It would help me to keep a little bit of loyalty. I might need to do that just for defensive pressure. We need to get these boats out as fast as possible. That is really important. Yeah, but they did attack me, but look, I'm still in green health. That was a great stand. That is exactly what we wanted to see. I reckon there's a good chance that the AI is actually going to appear here and kill that Barb camp. Not that it would be an issue if they did. Wouldn't mind at all, but it means that they would probably yoink the era score if they did do that. Meanwhile, it looks like we have another at least +3, which I'm just hazarding a guess that that's going to become +4, and there's geothermal fissure over there as well. This is a nice little peninsula if I can settle up onto it. We shall see. We shall see. We don't need to actually worry too much about settling on our own continent. We also can't afford to give up tons and tons and tons of space. Sailing is looking good. Get our first galley out soon. I want to go for celestial navigation as soon as possible. We're going to need a builder to do that, but we are suddenly looking a little bit happier on that front. You can see Byzantium is going for one of the first religions. I think I might just piggyback on Byzantium's religion. Trying to fight them would be a difficult use of resources. I'd have to chop a lot of stuff out to do that. Oh, they're actually finishing Stonehenge. They are finishing Stonehenge. We're going to put a couple of turns into animal husbandry. We'll see which religion Byzantium goes for. If they go feed the world, we will definitely join in with them. If they go for something really naff, possibly we'll do something different. I don't know at this point, but that might be the decision making for me. Mount Vesuvius. We did find something. Astrology is boosted. All right, let's just finish this off quickly. That was the +4 I expected it to be. It's a very dangerous +4, but it is a +4. Look at the loyalty creep already. It's already starting to get a bit close. Eastern Orthodoxy. They got it. Is it choral music or is it feed the world? It's choral music. All right, that's not the good religion. How likely is it that we'll be able to found our own religion? I mean, we've already seen it. That's a turn 25 Stonehenge. That just really shows you how aggressive the AI is with the production bonuses. Don't know. I honestly don't know how lucky we're going to get here. There's a part of me that is willing to risk the honey saddle. Loyalty-wise, it's difficult, but it would give me a luxury that I could then immediately sell. Although Byzantium's already got that luxury, so maybe it wouldn't be worth it. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Hang on. The warrior survives if I make that attack. Okay, I was going to say, I don't want to then get rid of the Barb camp only for the slinger to kill my warrior. That would be really annoying. Mittler, that helps with science. Good. But this means that the AI is likely to attack Mittler, spread the religion, be a real problem for me. I'm not going to commit to going to the religion. So we have celestial navigation lined up now. Once I get the boost, once I get Pingala rocking, we should be in a much better place. There's a lot of settling going on up here, though. This is going to make this peninsula really difficult to stick. Let's go and meet them. Ethiopia. Very religious as well. Honor to meet you. Love the sample hospitality. Yeah, so I'm kind of having to make this up a little bit as I go. They have another continent. Oh, I could trade with them. I could trade with them on that other continent. Yeah, look at the loyalty problem here. We've got to settle there and then look to settle on one of these two tiles in order to make sure we grab something. I think I'm actually going to look to settle a little more aggressively than maybe I originally thought. Right, what I'm going to do is settle on this tile, which then opens up this -7. But that means that I'll be able to throw a harbor down and get the trade route out to Ethiopia, because trade routes across continents, well, those are going to give me the yields I need to thrive in the early game. How big a score does Ethiopia have right now? Era score 11. If they go into a golden age, trying to hold on to the city will be really difficult. Disperse the clan. I could keep it around for 3 turns and get another warrior, but I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference for me. So let's just disperse it, get the era score. I think we'll go for a normal age. I'm really tempted to just forward settle this continent, but I know that Byzantium's going to creep up from that direction as well. There's no easy win here. There's no easy win. The AI is going to have a go at me regardless of what I do. Ethiopia are aggressively going for a religion as well. What I might be able to do is just make friends. That was close. Oh, we won't think about that too hard. Yeah, I might be able to just make friends with whichever one produces Feed the World, which I think is probably going to be Ethiopia. We'll back them, piggyback off their religion. And here's the thing. Loyalty is going to be such a problem. It really is. Does the AI have cotton? Yes and no. I have no governor to back it up though. But if I don't settle here, I feel like I'm going to lose access to that area. But then settling down here would give me a good loyalty boost. Let's push the settlement up just 1 tile to that, maybe? At least then it has access to the honey. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go for the honey really quickly. Let's do it. Let's do it. We'll probably regret doing this. Ethiopia are likely to attack me with a broadside of stuff. Going to get maritime industries very soon. Discover a second continent. How have they not done that? Like, I can see it. I guess it doesn't count because I haven't actually moved a unit onto it. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. That was easy. All right. So 3 turns and we can start getting double speed on galleys. That will be really, really good. Let's get 1 builder out. Then we can work this honey, possibly the cotton as soon as I get irrigation as well. Ethiopia already have galleys up and running. Very worrying. Oh, I've changed my mind. I'm going for the cotton. I've changed my mind. Sometimes you have to play bravely, and this is, I think, one of those times. Let's just rock it. Let's just rock it. Why not? One thing I am going to do, buy some whales of Ethiopia. That means I can then sell the cotton, and I'll still be on 1 luxury. Kamasi. That's the second game in a row, second difficult game in a row I found Kamasi. That trade, that really changes a lot because I love trading with Kamasi. Those routes are really, really good. If you can stack the Spain and trade route bonuses on city-states, we'll sit on that for a little bit, but that is suddenly very interesting indeed. There's foreign trade. Okay, that is useful for a few reasons, but we're going to keep God King in for a second. I want the Pantheon, but maritime industries will go in. We don't need discipline right now. That means we can get galleys out quickly. If I can finish a galley in the next 10 turns, at least I won't go into a Dark Age. Now, normally I'd like to rock a Dark Age to go medieval heroic, but I cannot stand the loyalty problem. It also looks like Ethiopia is not going golden. Byzantium is, Ethiopia is not. So maybe we can just get away with this. Oh, -8 is so bad. It's so bad. How on earth are we going to pull this off? I don't know. We can get access to amber and dyes though. This is just too good an opportunity for us. Let's give it a go. Come on, let's just commit. Seville. I'm going to need a really good governor in here. Welcome, Eka. I'm not saying this is going to be an easy one at all. This might be one of the harder cities to keep, but I'm going to need you to do your best. We're going to need to get early empire as soon as possible as well. What is German working at the moment? I don't have a huge amount of spare food here. The cotton's good, but I could use a little bit of extra population. In fact, actually, this city needs population as well. Get that rocking as quick as possible, thank you. Allows traders to embark is locked behind celestial navigation. I'd forgotten that bit. So we can do 6 gold routes if we want to, but those are only to Constantinople. They're not the best. Oh, the cotton doesn't sell for as much as I thought it would. It really doesn't. Okay, 73 gold. Oh, I was really kind of hoping I'd be able to rush a builder through. All right, let's get a galley working. Maybe we can hold this on. I mean, I've got 14 turns. And hopefully we'll get a governor pretty soon. We can chop out potentially with bronze working. Get a bit of food that way as well. We've got a rainforest here. I might also get lucky with the horse roll here. Horses appearing on one of the tiles around Eka would be a huge boon to me. Let's have a look and see what happens. 1, 2 sources of horses. Okay, right. We do actually have plenty of horses. That is good. 1, 2, 3. Right. These are very decent tiles, man. Ethiopia is already on 6 cities. It's turn 32. Oh dear. We're going to have to do a lot of chopping out here. I can just tell already. Chop, chop, chop. When in doubt, just forward the turns a little bit. See what happens. How's Ethiopia doing on the religion? They're up to +3 points now. I really, really do want to get them to get religion number 2. Go feed the world. That would help me in the long run. There is a 3 food tile my capital can get to. Gives a tiny bit of gold. That would help population in Jamman quite considerably, but it would be quite expensive at 80 gold. Okay, we're up to 5 gold now. Right, I'll take 100. That's better. Let's do this. Let's go for a trader, and I'll send it back over to Jamman. We'll put trading posts between these 2 cities, which in the long run is going to help me trade over a continent split. It'll also give me more food towards Eka to try and get that population as quickly as possible. I'll buy this tile at 80 gold, which I should be able to do with impatience if I trade 2 gold per turn away. Then I can go, for instead of 1 food per turn, I can buy that tile and then swap this in and this in, which means that I'll now grow in 5 turns, which is significantly better, and I can put a builder down, get a little bit more food. Right, yeah, that's it is a convoluted plan, but loyalty-wise, it might work. Might is a really important word here. Very much is might. 1 food on this trade route, but then I obviously get the bonus gold, the bonus faith, the bonus production. Helps me just to get a lot of stuff going. Puts a road across the river. Means we're now working in 3 turns. Come on, Eka. Get to 2 pop. That's all you need to do. I think that everything won't be solved at 2 pop. Everything will certainly be a lot easier at 2 pop. Okay, we're down to 67 now. Wavering loyalty. Oh, it's just the problem with wavering loyalty is it sits on the amount of of food that you can produce per turn. I need the growth. We need the growth, and we need it badly. Good thing is we're guaranteed to get a Pantheon before the Age of the Era, so it's like we will get a normal age. I'm not worried about missing a normal age. Builder and farm. Right, now I can unhook this, hook that one up. There is a population growth in 1 turn. It's already looking better. Galley in 6 turns. Oh, we got 5 turns left on the old buzzer, but that's fine. We'll get another population and work a decent tile to help that next turn. So we're currently at minus 9.2 on loyalty, but once my capital jumps up, oh, it goes to 4.4. So that's much better. Much, much better. And we now have a Pantheon and fertility rights. Builder in my capital city growth to 10% higher. That is up. Interesting. Now, there are a few things that work quite well with Spain. Anything that involves fishing or navy is often very good, but missions are going to go down on other continents later, which gives me a little bit of science, a little bit of faith. I need trade routes, and one of the good ways of getting trade routes later into the game is to go city patron goddess. 25% production towards districts in cities without a specialty district. Put in veterancy and build harbors, and you can build these really, really quickly. Long term, that is a very good strategy. I could go for culture on pastures and improve these horses a lot. I could go for God of Craftsmen and do the same thing. Production and faith from strategics. Actually got quite a few. We also have camps around. A deer. +1 food and +1 production on a deer tile would be pretty handy, but we've only got a few. I guess I do have some honey tiles, but that's not ideal. I think I'm going to go for the short-term gain here just to try and get this game kick-started, and God of Craftsmen is really handy with this many horses around. Extra production, extra faith. I mean, the culture is tempting. I'm going to go for that right now because I need to rush a galley out, and actually this is a very good way of forcing the issue because I can buy these tiles. Okay, Ethiopia are now moving warriors towards me, which is slightly worrying. Eka has 1.5 loyalty per turn being lost now. That is an improvement. That is an improvement, but is it as much of an improvement as we need? The answer is no. We only need 1 more population. If we get 1 more population, well then we should be fine. Here is a pasture. That is a 2 food, 4 production, 1 faith tile. Amazing. Means the galley will finish in 2 turns. Maybe I don't want to rush this through. Maybe I want to put this in the next era. After all that, I've changed my mind. As is usually the way. Oh no, don't do this. No, but I knew the Byzantium was going to do this. It's fine. We've kind of locked ourselves into this peninsula. I was going to move my army to different directions on the map to kind of try and explore a little bit more, but no, Ethiopia is settling across. Oh, this is going to be a tight one. I have to build 1 more slinger here, just in case. Unfortunately, they've also guaranteed that they're going to be able to settle near me. This is going to be a real problem for loyalty. Yeah, this city has just pushed more pressure onto Eka. This one's going to do exactly the same. Hey, it means we've got to get to sea. We're going to have to really treasure fleet our way out of this one. Very pressurized, very small Spain. As long as Ethiopia doesn't get that golden age, that's kind of what I'm banking on. If they do, we're in real trouble. That goes my plan for a city in this area anyway. Sometimes it can be quite good because you kind of get yourself hooked on indecision, right? You're like, I don't know whether I should do this or do that or whatever, and you kind of bounce between about 3 ideas, and then suddenly something like that happens and you're like, well, I have no decision making in this at all. Rapa Nui, and looks like Mapuche is over there as well. Ethiopia's gone Hinduism. Please say that you have gone feed the world. 2 religions got made in the same term. Hinduism has feed the world. Right, we need feed the world. As soon as we get feed the world, we'll be able to throw holy sites up, we'll be able to get lots of faith, maybe we'll go for monumentality into the medieval age. Who knows what's going to happen? All I know is it's going to be lovely, and I'm also going to sell some horses in order to buy another source of horse. Like so. I'm really impatient. You shouldn't just give your gold per turn up like this, but I'm doing it anyway because I'm very impatient. Okay, I'm just going to be really annoying. I'm gonna force them to not settle where they want to. Okay, that was really annoying because that's an amazing camper spot, but I mean I can't judge you, I guess. You are allowed to settle exactly where you want to, and oh, we're at minus 6.9 all of a sudden. What's happened there? Ethiopia went golden. No. Oh, it was the religion. It was the religion right at the end. Okay, we have problems. Big problems. Big problems with loyalty. We may lose Eka. I don't know. Free inquiry is the easiest way of getting Iriscore ourselves. We have to go golden next stage. We cannot left that go. Early Empire is really important now because that governor is going to be one of the most important put-ins in my government. And then also +2 loyalty per turn. The cities cities with a governor. That's going to be something I really need as well. I can make this city happy. That would help. I can buy an amber, which helps a tiny bit, but mainly with my capital. Oh, no, we're still one away. Never mind. Can't believe they got the golden age of my last turn. That's what I do. I'm the one that gets golden ages right at the last turn. Oh, well, at least we're going to get a couple of galleys to go and explore around the map. Bam. Like so. Minus 7.5 is really, really bad. I'm going to have to actually keep my units kind of around. I hope we can have this. Oh, oh no, this is such a bad idea. This is such a bad idea. I could steal a settler here. Maybe that would help with loyalty. I don't think it would, to be fair. It certainly wouldn't help because I could get my 6th population really quickly, and I do have a galley out here. I'm going to lose the city anyway. I think we've got to take some drastic action. I'm buying 2 luxuries from Ethiopia, so that is a bit of a problem. But I'm also selling my luxury to them as well. Oh, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. This is going to go horribly wrong. Yep. I'm going to generate a ton of grievances. Byzantium's probably going to attack me, but I'm going to lose Eka if I don't do something. So there we go. The scout is in place now. We'll move in my warriors to come and try and help up here. They're probably going to land and just go in there anyway. Oh, I should have really attacked with my galley if I'd thought about that properly, but never mind. We'll send our galley out. We'll go and explore now. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, The Nickerman, Daddy Bear Todd, Toon General, Civilized, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Polar Waller Bear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy Zersa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Charlie Bears, Flying Dutch Burbs, Nate the Great, Alex Frost, Mean Penguin, Interplanet Janet, Frankincense Battlezord, Sleepy Lab, Bookaluk 79, Bob Loblaw, Davalex, Geography Teacher, Juvara, Hal Carnassus, Morax, Sinikush, Kapayobi Virani, Echo Bear, Deja Vu. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!